Abs, arguably the most sought-after aesthetic goal in all of fitness. It's not a surprise that so much of fitness marketing revolves around getting abs, with even crazy promises of abs as quick as 6 minutes. Interesting. Unfortunately, that's not exactly the case. There's a little bit more to it. So let's go over some of the best and true practices for getting abs. We'll also bust a few ab training myths along the way. First, I want to mention that this video is brought to you by my lovely Patreon community. Thank you to all of my amazing patrons for voting for this topic. If you want to join in on some polls, Q&As, and other jazzy rewards as well, all the while supporting me and the Picturefit channel, then come check out my Patreon today. Any contribution will be greatly appreciated. Please come give it a look through the link in the description. Thank you. Let's start off with a myth. No, you don't have to do hundreds of crunches and crunch variations. The issue with this high rep approach is the lack of progressive muscular overload. To build muscle of any kind, you have to continuously provide a stronger stimulus than you did prior, often through increasing work volume. Higher reps can somewhat achieve this, but hardly in an effective manner since reps are only one factor of volume progression. Best practice is to not only continuously increase reps, but also increase intensity or resistance. Something like 10 to 15 reps of a very challenging intensity for a few sets will be better than 100 reps of easy crunches. As you progress, you can further increase the intensity and/or rep count of the exercise, but you don't need crazy rep numbers. Speaking of exercise, let's talk about exercise options. Now, your abs or rectus abdominis is only a single muscle. Any type of exercise employing lumbar flexion will stimulate the entirety of your abs. However, stimulation is not all equal. EMG data suggests that exercises that lead with the upper body to initiate lumbar flexion, like crunches, have a greater propensity to stimulate the upper abs. Movement that involves more posterior pelvic tilting or initiating with the bottom portion of the torso and legs tend to stimulate the lower abs better. With this in mind, best practice is probably to have more than one exercise in your ab training repertoire to effectively target both the upper and lower abs. Now keep in mind that we need to factor in intensity. For beginners, when targeting the upper abs, 10 to 15 good crunches might be challenging enough. For the more advanced, doing crunches with a medicine ball on your chest or a 10-pound plate behind your head would be good ways to progress intensity. Cable crunches, where it's easier to adjust the resistance, can work as well. For lower abs, lying leg lifts is a good starting point. Just make sure you do them properly. As you progress, you can move on to something like decline leg lifts and then hanging leg lifts for more of a challenge. Partner-resisted lying leg lifts, where a partner pushes your legs back towards the floor, can also be a step up. Make sure you don't forget the rest of your core, like your obliques. The obliques' function is to laterally flex and rotate the trunk. Cable chops and weighted side bends are good options here. Now, although ab-specific exercises are needed to build your ab muscles for overall strength and stability development, best practice is to have an overall workout plan that also incorporates larger movements that require core stability. I'm talking about exercises like squats and deadlifts. These will develop stronger stability throughout the entire core, including the rectus abdominis, obliques, transverse abdominis, and the spinal erectors. The muscles responsible for the other side of sagittal lumbar movements, lumbar extension. To a lesser extent, unilateral movements employing one side of the body at a time, like single arm presses, develop the core as well. With all this being said though, exercise choice still ultimately comes down to you. Choose the ones you personally find the most effective. Just get that intensity up. Now on to another popular myth: training the abs every single day. Sure, you can technically train your abs every single day. Whether that's best practice, however, is another story. According to muscle hypertrophy experts Brett Contreras and Brad Schoenfeld, much like all other muscles, the abs go through the ringer of elevated muscle protein synthesis post-workout for about 48 hours. If you train your abs again before the 48 hours, you're probably hindering peak muscle growth, and over time, it might lead to localized overtraining. Plus, the vertebral discs of your spine might actually need more recovery time. So don't risk back problems tomorrow for the sake of chiseled abs today. Best practice, take that 2 days of recovery before training abs again. Now to top everything off, let's get to the most important factor of all: nutrition. You simply cannot escape this one. You might have even heard of the old saying, abs are made in the kitchen. Personally, I don't completely agree with that statement and would rather say it's more in line with abs are made in the gym, but revealed in the kitchen. If I were to give an arbitrary percentage, I would say the battle for getting abs is 30% training and 70% nutrition. Nutrition for getting abs follow all the same rules as any general fat loss goal, which I've covered in detail in past videos. But long story short, you need to maintain a calorie deficit. Fewer calories consumed than calories burned. Some basic tips to help you along the way is to aim for more healthy whole food choices containing fewer calories but are also nutrient dense. I'm talking about your green veggies, starchy carbs, lean meats, beans, and so on. More protein is always recommended on this channel, especially for fat loss, as protein has shown to help with hunger and appetite and mitigate muscle loss. Other tools that you might want to try is intermittent fasting to manage hunger, or carb cycling, which base food intake on your workout plan. If tinkering with nutrition is not an easy task for you, then you might want to consider increasing calories burned instead. For some, steady-state cardio would be good to achieve that. For others, something like HIIT or high-intensity interval training would be a better fit, especially if time is an issue. I'll make sure to put links for my videos on all of these various nutrition and calorie burning strategies in the description if you want more details. And that pretty much covers the best practices, in my opinion, on getting abs. I'm sure some of you have your own great tips and best practices, so please share some of your ideas in the comments below. I want to once again thank my Patreon members for choosing this topic on getting abs. I really appreciate all of you that currently support me through Patreon, and if you want to support me as well, along with participating in future topic polls, Q&As, and even one-on-one chats, then again, please come check out my Patreon page through the link in the description. Thank you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your ab-loving friends. As always, thank you for watching and get your protein.